since the day began. Well, the counties of Migori, Siaya, Homa Bay and Kisumu are those that will be going back to the polls tomorrow since they failed to vote yesterday during the election, the repeat presidential election. But this has been faced with the resistance already. And our political affairs editor, Ben Kitili, is covering the county of Migori for us. He now joins us live with an update of the general mood of that particular county. Ben, given the kind of running battles that were witnessed yesterday, the blocking of roads by the residents there, how is the situation today? And what are they saying about the prospects of voting tomorrow? Our political editor there and our senior reporter, Ben Kitili. Those are live pictures. We are bringing you there from Migori. Running battles are still ongoing there. Ben, if you can hear me, what really is happening there?
Akisa, good afternoon. Yeah, we are right in the middle of a running battle right now as we speak between these demonstrating youth here in Migori, right at the center of Migori town, and anti-riot police. There were a number of youth, hundreds of them, who have blocked this bridge, which, if you are going to pass through Migori, you have to pass right through it. They have blocked this road, trying to say that this will be the case for the whole day tomorrow when the IBC is set to, conduct that postponed election. But police have broken down the demonstrations. They're throwing tear gas, lobbing tear gas canisters. And of course, the youths have been dispersed, Akisa, anti-riot police right now. If you can just listen in. So, Akisa, this is what's happening right now in Migori. The anti-riot police trying to push back the demonstrating youth to try and unblock the roads. What they are trying to do, according to what we've heard from the election officials, is that they're trying to make the roads here in Migori town passable, to be able to have the election officials tomorrow be able to move the election materials. A lot of tear gas in the air right now, but for now, the police seem to have managed to push back the crowd of youth. But this has been happening for the last 1 week or so. The youth around this place are unrelenting, Akisa, but we wait to see what will be happening from now until tomorrow.
I'm sure you've been able to speak to a number of residents there in Migori, being one of the counties that is expected, where the voters are expected to go back to the ballot tomorrow. What are they saying?
They're saying, Akisa, that there's nothing that will change from yesterday when no voting took place. They're saying they will not allow the IEBC to conduct elections in the county of Migori. Remember, this county has a total of 8 parliamentary units, 6 of them, that is Suna East and Suna West, here in Migori town. Uriri, Rongo, Awendo, and Nyatike, those are 6 of the 8 constituencies here in the county of Migori, which where Raila Odinga and NASA enjoy fanatical support. No election took place in those 6 constituencies. The only activity of electoral activity was in Kuria East and Kuria West constituency, where, according to pundits, political pundits, is that Uhuru Kenyatta enjoys some support there. But they say even if the IBC chairman, Wafula Chebukati, postpones the election here in Migori County 10 times, that they will not be able to allow the electoral officials to move election materials even tomorrow.
So looking at the kind of pictures we're seeing right there behind you, a heavy contingent of police officers there, seemingly just trying to ensure that there's calm and, as you say, to ensure that the roads are passable. But we've seen in other areas where police are using live bullets to scare off the crowds. How is the situation there? What are they using to push out the crowds that are milling in that particular bridge?
The police are using, right now where we are, they are lobbing tear gas canisters to disperse the crowds here. But we've also been able to see spent cartridges of rubber bullets, Kisa, as well as blank cartridges to try and disperse the crowds here. We did see dropped spent live ammunition, but we cannot independently verify whether that was used here in Migori, because of course there's a lot of propaganda going around. But what is happening and what we have been able to see from the IBC is that, as Wafula Chebukati did say, they will try in those 4 counties of Luo Nyanza where the elections will happen or are set to happen tomorrow. The government is trying to, bolster the security here. Of course, we are seeing a much larger number of security officers here to try and make sure that this town is passable, is manageable in terms of trying to pass or to move the electoral material. So, Akisa, we're seeing more security officers here in Migori today than we have been able to see in the last 2 days or so.
How strategic, Ben, there, I'm sure you're having a very hard time covering that, but how strategic is that particular bridge for Migori County? Why is it very important both for the residents and the police, given the numbers that have been sent to Migori to calm the protesters, so to speak?
Akisa, the way the town of Migori is planned is that for you to pass through Migori town on route to Kuria, to Sirare, you have to pass through this bridge. This bridge is also the boundary between Suna East and Suna West. So what they have been trying to do, the youth demonstrating, is that they have been trying to block this road. If you block this bridge, which has been blocked using large boulders, which have been very hard to remove. Yesterday, at some points, the youth also tried to connect some electricity current on the rails around the bridge to be able to make it impossible for the security officers to unblock it. They know that if you block that bridge, Akisa, movements in the town of Migori and around all the constituencies here in the county of Migori will be utterly impossible. That is why it is so important to the demonstrators as they try to make their point, as also the police officers as they try to make movement here in the county of Migori possible.
The situation has been on very actively since yesterday when Kenyans took to the polls for the repeat presidential election, and you specifically reported of a standoff. Roads were blocked, nothing was happening, zero voting was ongoing, and the police have been engaging the protesters or the residents there for a while now. Any casualties that have been reported from Migori?
Yes, Akisa, last night, we can independently verify that 2 people were injured yesterday from rubber bullets. One person, a 53-year-old man, was shot twice, once on the arm and on his left thigh with rubber bullets, we have to add, and he was admitted at the St. Akidiva Memorial Hospital in the outskirts of the town of Migori. Witnesses did tell KTN News that another person was shot, but not so seriously, with a rubber bullet. We could not independently verify that, but that 53-year-old man was shot and wounded with rubber bullets, shots, and was admitted at that St. Akidiva Memorial Hospital. Apart from that, there have been no other casualties for the last 2 days from police, apart from what we have seen basically mostly is the anti-riot police using tear gas canisters to try and disperse these crowds. We have also been able to collect some spent cartridges, ostensibly from blank ammunition.
All right, Ben, we'll let you continue to cover that for us. We'll be coming back to Migori during the program. Ben Kitili is our police